Ladies and gentlemen, former Secretary of Defense James Mattis, General Mattis, stated within a video of him in a conference. So he was in a conference setting, and the video was taken, I think, within the past couple of days, where he was saying that, he did not know of any spy balloons during President Trump's administration. Now, Mattis is not the biggest fan of former President Trump, which is interesting because President Trump accomplished a great deal in terms of foreign policy. But that's another story, okay? You look at what's taking place now, we're 90 seconds to midnight. We're the closest ever we've ever been, and it's going into Biden's third year in office. So, categorically, objectively, Trump was much better in terms of foreign policy. It was a moral imperative to have voted for Trump. If Trump we were 90 seconds to midnight with Trump, oh my God, and then a spy balloon just goes right across the United States of America, unimpeded, taking as many photos, pictures, tracking license plates, individuals, whatever it was doing, you wouldn't hear the end of it from the Atlantic or the Washington Post or the New York Times. But it's Biden's administration. It was a complete embarrassment. And what they needed to do is make everything morally relative. It's the Clintonian calculus that I think that I might be the first person to coin that phrase. Everything is morally relative. It's the other side's worse. It's other side's much worse. And, it happened under Trump, but it didn't. Well, we had inflation under Trump. No, we didn't. Well, we were 90 seconds to midnight under Trump. No, we weren't. Well, there was an invasion in Europe under Trump. No, there wasn't. We can go on. Eggs were $1 million per egg. No, that didn't happen either. And so all of these things are taking place under Biden's administration. The media is an extension of the Democratic Party, just like Twitter was an extension of the Democratic Party when we learned that with Twitter files. So, and I did a segment that nobody really cared about prior to this one, explaining that, if you look at how this is written, oh, well, we didn't know, but now we knew, nobody knew, and, intelligence assessments say it happened, that is completely meaningless. It is almost the equivalent if you had morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats, oftentimes are atheists, which is fine. That's great. No problem. But they'll say, well, we demand evidence. That's why, we don't believe in God. Okay. Well, where's the evidence that it happened, there were balloons under Trump's administration, or that he worked with the Kremlin or whatever? So, it's an intelligence assessment. So it's the same thing as a religious leader saying, okay, I am divine, or I know what this holy book entails. So if you just blindly trust and appeal to an authority, an individual in some kind of authority, without doing your due diligence, asking for at least, how did you derive this information? Where did this information come from? And how are you claiming to know something that nobody else knows, that there was no evidence for? And so you can say, well, that's a little bit different. God exists. Okay, I do believe that too. I believe that God exists. But that's not as much of a leap of logic for me to say that as it is for people who are atheists to say that, well, it happened because an intelligence official stated so. These intelligence officials obviously are partisan. And we know this because within their own text messages, within their own writing, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, for example, they talk about how they want to stop Trump. The Inspector General, Michael Horowitz, stated that. The only thing he stated was there was no documentary or testimonial bias. You're never going to find documentary or testimonial bias. They'll never write down in an official memo how much they despise Trump. It'll be within their text messages. So the same intelligence officials that said that Trump was working with the Kremlin are also the same intelligence officials who are saying that, 3 balloons were spotted during Trump's administration. Funny how there's no public record evidence. There is evidence There is evidence of a balloon in 2022 in February. And there's also evidence, obviously, of this spy balloon, going across the country. General Mattis is not a fan of Trump. Unfortunately, I have no clue why, but you're looking at General Mattis saying, yeah, that didn't happen. So there is a video of him. It's on Twitter, and you could see it. And it's just of him explaining, yeah, you know what? Not while he was in office. He's essentially defending President Trump. And like I always say, hit subscribe to this channel. 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Be here for the 8 a.m. segment. State of the Union address. I will have a live stream right after the State of the Union address. We'll give some analysis and discussion. It'll be a train wreck full of lies. They say that Trump lies. Nobody lied more. Nobody has lied more than Biden or his administration on a number of things. You go look up Trump's greatest lies, the top 10. It's like about nothing. It's nothing to do with national security. They just trying to get him on semantics. But like, you can look at the top 10. He just told a lie, big lie the other day. Oh, well, hey man, I had the inflation, man. You didn't have the inflation. Inflation was at 2% when you took office. It's now at over 6%. It was at 8%. And, I mean, it's just endless. Now you have with these lies being told about the balloons. Oh, well, Trump had balloons too. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Oh, I never knew anything about Hunter, his laptop. You're part of the business deals. This isn't Ivanka with a trademark for clothing or whatever. This is pay-to-play schemes. That's why you forced out a prosecutor that was going to investigate an oil and gas company in a country now invaded under your watch. And so this is a big problem. And hit subscribe, 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. every morning. Be here tomorrow for the live stream. It's going to be a very important live stream. It'll probably be around 8 p.m. Pacific time. We'll talk about the State of the Union and or 7 p.m. But it'll be very, very important. So be here tomorrow for the live stream. But General Mattis has defended Trump. Okay, there's not a shred of evidence. Simply saying there's an intelligence assessment is meaningless. You are never going to look at the underlying evidence to the intelligence assessment is the opinion of intel people. The only reason Democrats gravitate towards this opinion is because it's their loyalists or partisans. We had John Radcliffe stating categorically it didn't happen under Trump. So Trump's intel chief stated it didn't happen. Biden's intel chief stated it did happen, but you also have now General Mattis, and you also have basic logic and reasoning skills. You don't have any evidence at all that it took place. No public record evidence of this. No nothing. There are no articles about Trump allowing a spy balloon. There's nothing. And the way it's written now is that, well, senior officials say, people say, we didn't know about it until we became, we got the Oval Office. It's like, okay, you're lying. You didn't know about it because you're lying. Because you are deceiving people, because you're embarrassed. Because the entire country knows there's something going on. It's very bizarre. And this is not normal. But again, the Democrats are good at defending the indefensible. Going after Trump in an apoplectic manner, then complaining when he complains. The good thing about Trump is that he tells the truth more often than not. You might say, oh, that's just not true. Trump tells the truth more often. That's his problem. He doesn't have a filter. So you could say it's his problem, or you could say it's his Achilles heel, but it's also a good character trait or a good trait. He doesn't filter. He doesn't care what this apoplectic media monstrosity thinks. Okay? And so that's a good thing. And everything Democrats do and everything Biden says is carefully scripted based on poll numbers. Okay? That's how you get the deceit and the lies. And then the Washington Post has an endless tally of semantics and cutting up and slicing and dicing words, but they don't do that with Biden because media, they're an extension of the Democratic Party. Give me your thoughts below. There were no spy balloons with Trump, sorry, for people who believe that. And no, there weren't 3 that, traversed the country, but there was one that went across the country with Biden, and there was another one over Hawaii last year. And I explained that today. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel. Be here tomorrow for the live streams and be here tomorrow at 8 a.m.